everyone, so this is a Twin Flame Collective reading for the weekend of 23rd and 24th of March. Okay, so I started pulling cards just to start with before I do my tarot, but then I stopped because they were just coming out so amazingly that I was like, okay, I'm going to stop now and do the rest of my shuffling on camera. Okay, so the questions that I asked were, what is going on with the Divine Masculines this weekend? And the card that came out for that was endings. So the message I'm receiving here is that the Divine Masculines are really feeling a complete ending to the situation. So whatever's been happening between you both, this is like a cut-off point for them. This is them realising that they cannot go on as they are anymore. You know, this situation has run its course. They can't carry on feeling like this. They're realising that, you know, if you two have been together before and you broke up, or if you've not been together yet, that you know, this is not going to go away. Like, unless they take action, this pain, this heartbreak is not going to go away from their lives, because they are meant to be with their Divine Feminine. We also have this weekend a new romantic cycle begins. So whilst they kind of like go through this personal ending, this understanding that the cycle's completed, and that the heartbreak isn't going to go away on its own, that they have to take action, this is what's going to birth this new romantic cycle. It's going to let them kind of like step into their power and take action towards this new cycle, because there is a complete ending happening this weekend. And this is an ending to a whole kind of like twin flame phase, not just like a small kind of like release. This is like a big ending that's happening. Then Divine Feminines, what's happening with you this weekend? Alignment. So this is being truly aligned with union, with you know, with kind of like your connection with your higher self. You're channeling from spirit directly. You know, you are really kind of like aligned exactly where you're meant to be. Your chakras are balanced. There's no kind of like big blocks. And even when there are kind of like some imbalances going on, you're doing a really good job now at getting back into alignment really quickly. This weekend for you, it's realising that you are good enough. So I feel like some of you, you know, were really ambitious with your like full moon releases and like manifestations. If you did try and manifest with a full moon, or even like with the previous new moon, you are good enough to have these things in your life. So don't doubt yourself. Don't kind of like set your wishes out to the universe or pray and then suddenly start doubting your ability to receive them, because that's, you know, that's you blocking your own wishes. The universe wants to provide for you, so make sure you're open to be provided for. Okay, and then after the weekend for Divine Masculines, we had two cards come out, and we had intuition and release. So this heartbreak that they're going through this weekend, these feelings that they're feeling, this is going to bring about a big release for the Divine Masculines. So Monday, that'll be the 25th, between Monday and Wednesday, Monday and Thursday. So between Monday and Thursday, there's going to be a big release, and this is preparing for Mercury to go direct. As we prepare for Mercury to go direct, the Divine Masculines are going to be releasing all these blocks, all these things that have come to the surface with this ending, so that the new romantic cycle can begin. I just feel this is such a big kind of like rebirth that's going on. There's a lot of purple here for the Divine Masculines, so their third eye is really opening. You know, they are kind of connecting, they are seeing things for what they really are. You know, they're having a much stronger kind of like spiritual connection. So Divine Masculines, when Mercury goes direct, I feel like there are going to be some big shifts, and I'm going to kind of get some clarity in that when I pull my tarot cards. So after this weekend, what are the Divine Masculines going to be doing? Surrendering to the Divine. So the Divine Masculines are realising that they can't control this situation. They can't stay separated from their Divine Feminine, because you're not meant to be separated. You're meant to be together. And that's going to bring about this complete surrender. And that is where they release, surrender to the Divine, and then they're going to start getting these intuitive messages about what action to take next. Divine Feminines, after the weekend, we have Akashic and Balance for you. So And interestingly, your moon card was meditate and contemplate, and that is all about balance. So it's about making sure you stay in alignment. But after this weekend, I just feel, you know, you are kind of like completely aligned with union. Your masculine and feminine energies balance within. My guides are saying that, you know, you have found union within, so well done. And Akashic, when you meditate, I feel like there's going to be some strong past life things coming through. You're going to, because you're so aligned, you're going to be going deeper in your meditations. So after the weekend, if you do kind of like try and meditate, you'll find that your meditations are kind of like a lot clearer and a lot stronger. What is happening between the Divine Feminines and the Divine Masculines? Beginnings and a new start is coming. So there is a complete beginning happening between you both. This ending, this is this new romantic cycle beginning. There is a new start coming. So next week I feel like there is going to be a new start, and for some of you this is going to be bringing you and your counterpart into union. This is going to be like a really big new beginning. It's not a small cycle. This is for both of you, a fresh start together. Okay, we're going to pull some Romance Angel cards to start with. We're going to look for, so Divine Masculines this weekend. Express your love. So the Divine Masculines are feeling kind of like a deep urgency to express their love, because they feel like their Divine Feminine is slipping away from them. Let's see for the Divine Feminines this weekend. Okay, 3 cards came out. We're going to take them all. Very soon, deception and religious factors. So, what is happening very soon? This mask is being lifted. The Divine Masculines who have been trying to turn away from the connection no longer can. You know, this complete ending that's happening, that is because the mask has been taken off them, and this is them realising that they can't be without the Divine Feminine. This lifting of the mask, that is what is causing the Divine Masculines to want to express their love. Straight away my guides are saying that the Divine Feminines before were really chasing the Divine Masculines, trying to force them to open up and express their feelings, and the Divine Masculines didn't want to. Well, now there is a change in the wind, and you know, this has kind of like switched hands. Stay optimistic about your love life and attraction. So Divine Masculines, you know, they are being urged to stay optimistic, because with this ending there's a lot of negativity that's coming through, a lot of kind of like, you know, how can I fix things, and that's why they're going to have to surrender. So after the weekend, that's why we see that surrendering. Okay, and let's see what's happening between Twin Flames next week, so after this weekend. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay, so this unrequited love that we had before, this, you know, the Divine Feminines maybe chasing, the Divine Masculines running, that is gone, because your love life is ascending to this higher level of commitment. As the Divine Masculines realise kind of like the connection, they're saying that there's a strong kind of like sexual pull towards the Divine Feminine now. They really just want you two to be together, and this kind of like sexual attraction is really, really driving them forwards, and it's actually helping massively. You know, that is really kind of like helping them heal and kind of like getting them moving again. So if your Divine Masculine has recently told you that he doesn't want a relationship, that he doesn't want to know you, or you know, whatever other harsh words have been said, that's not true. And now they're going to be realising how on earth can they fix it after the things that they have said. Divine Masculines this weekend. Be here now. So this is about not daydreaming. Try not to think about the past too much. Don't focus purely on what has been. Try and kind of like just live in the present. Divine Feminines, lay a solid foundation. So this is for yourself. You know, this beaver is kind of like independent, doing their own thing. So my guys are just saying, you know, this beaver card here, you know, is well on its way to kind of like doing its own journey. It's got his twig, got his leaves, and it's setting off by itself. So Divine Feminines, this is about laying a solid foundation for your future, and this is not the future of your Divine Masculines. This is the future that you want. I feel like lots of Divine Feminines right now are at a point of wanting to get things moving again quickly. So it's like, do you wait around for your Divine Masculine to return, or do you just walk away and kind of like go about your own life by yourself? You know, that is the crossroads that you are at. So do try and think about this, try and contemplate what you want to do. See if it's kind of like a compromise, like, yes, sort your own life out, do what you want, but if you do make a decision to walk away from your Divine Masculine, know that that is going to create an energetic block. So you can walk away and move on with your life while still sending them healing and love, and that is going to keep the gateway open. But if you do kind of like cut them off energetically and decide that you don't want this anymore, then, you know, they're going to feel that energetic push, and it is going to like slow things down a little bit. Okay, let's see what's happening between you both this weekend, and then we'll look into next week. So this weekend, tend to the small things. I feel like you aren't ready for kind of like big action. There might be some light communication coming in, but really this weekend's just about sending each other healing and lots of love. Okay, and after the weekend, Dolphin Spirit and Butterfly Spirit. There is a complete transformation. Number 11, the gateway is open. And Dolphin Spirit, I see that as communication coming in. So there is going to be kind of like communication picking up after the weekend, so into next week. Particularly the end of next week as Mercury does go direct. Okay, now let's look into the head and heart space. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminines today. So we're going to look into the headspace of the Divine Feminines. Straight up, headspace, wanting the Divine Masculine to come forward and provide some kind of clarity. This communication, the Divine Feminines are really kind of like desiring communication right now, just to know what on earth is going on. So in your head, you're wanting this happy family, this 10 of Cups. You feel your Divine Masculine returning, and you just kind of like, you want to understand what is going on. You are in your Queen of Cups energy, so in your head, because the Cups is quite an emotional card and head's all about logic, I see this as even mentally there is a really, really good balance here between your emotions and your kind of like mind. You are quite strong and stable. You know, in your head you are just kind of like focusing on your own life. You're in your Queen energy, about what you have. There might be kind of like some ups and downs with your emotions this weekend, but really, you know, you're just kind of like desiring some kind of clarity, some communication coming in. Okay, we're going to look at the Divine Feminine heart space now. Okay, so recently there have been some tower moments which have required balancing. So this might be some kind of like heartbreak or emotional pain, some blocks that needed healing. You're trying to work really, really hard on just kind of like, yeah, healing this heartbreak. So there is a lot of kind of like hurt that is coming up. But wow. Queen of Cups again. And then the 7 of Swords came out. So in your heart, you're really trying to heal this heartbreak. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Union card, 4 of Wands. So this is about knowing that union is coming in, that you two are going to be together. But you're finding that balance within. You're working hard to heal this kind of like this past. So we've got the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Swords that have come out kind of like on top of each other. And this is all about the past. So remembering the past. So as you're kind of like remembering the past in your head, this is triggering some kind of like healing that needs to take place in your heart space. But you are really in this Queen of Cups energy. So this is, you're in your power, you know, you are strong, you're stable. We've already seen that in the cards that have come out, you are aligned. But you are feeling a little bit emotional this weekend. But I don't feel like that is anything to worry about. So I'm going to look next at this weekend for you and what is actually kind of like you can expect from a weekend. So what can the Divine Feminines expect from this weekend? Okay, there are so many cards that just flew out. Okay, so this weekend we have the moon. So there is still some effects of the moon. So there's still some kind of like releases happening right now. But there is stable communication coming in. This might not be this weekend because this is quite a slow moving card. But your Divine Masculine, he is working hard for this ending. This ending is quite painful for him this weekend. So know that that is happening behind the scenes, and that's going to let him step up into his Emperor energy. So that's what's happening for the Divine Feminines. This is really just about you keeping focus on yourself and trusting that, you know, behind the scenes your Divine Masculine is closing out these cycles and is stepping into his power. And then I'm going to look at both the energies combined afterwards, and we'll see what's going on between the two of you. Okay, we're going to do headspace now for the Divine Masculines. So let's see where the Divine Masculines are at currently in their head. The moon. Wow, this full moon has had such an effect on them. So mentally they are preparing how to come forward, how to bring balance to the connection. They're not happy with how slow things have been moving. They wanted things to move a lot quicker, but there's a reason why it's moving slowly. You know, the full moon kind of like had to do its thing. There had to be some kind of clarity brought to their situation. You know, they were being held back so they could really provide a stable offer. Divine Masculines are really wanting to walk away from these conflicts. Okay, and then we've got the Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So this is about moving away from a past and towards union, towards a happy, committed relationship with their Divine Feminine. So that's kind of like where they're at in their head. It is really about just wanting to see kind of like results for their hard work now. And their heart space, trusting their intuition, balancing out their own like masculine and feminine energy. Okay, in their heart there is a lot of focus here on their Divine Feminine. A lot of focus. Okay, interestingly we've got the Empress card and the Emperor that's come out with the Magician in between. So in their heart the Divine Masculines are wanting to manifest this relationship between the two of you. They know that their Divine Feminine is feeling quite kind of like discontent and bored with how things are working out. We do have communication coming in, so the Divine Masculines are wanting to communicate, and they're wanting to communicate from the heart. They know that their Divine Feminines are wanting to kind of move forwards with their life, and it's time now for them to catch up. In their heart they do want to return, and they really do want to kind of like return home. And this card, which I was just urged to look at, is the King of Swords. So that is the Divine Masculines wanting to provide clarity for their Divine Feminine, wanting to kind of like give their Divine Feminine something solid, something secure, just some kind of like communication about what on earth has been going on with them. Okay, we're going to see this weekend for Divine Masculines what we can expect for them. Okay, so first of all we have feeling stuck, and they're feeling stuck because they feel like their Divine Feminine is happy without them. But there is some kind of clarity coming here, so the Divine are going to make sure that they do communicate with the Divine Masculine and kind of like give him some kind of direction. This is the universe leading the Divine Masculines and really kind of guiding them. The Magician card again, so Divine Masculines are working hard now to manifest. There could be communication, you know, the Divine Masculines are really, really wanting this communication. And this communication they want is so that they can end the battles for good. On the bottom of the deck we've got the Queen of Cups, and we saw the Queen of Cups in the Divine Feminine reading. So the Divine Masculines are truly kind of like desiring to end this cycle and start communicating. So for some there might be communication. If there isn't, don't worry, it's just because the Divine Masculines are still healing from this ending. Okay, I am going to look now at kind of like what is happening the following week. So we're going to look at next week, and then particularly after Mercury retrograde. So what can we see for the Divine Masculines next week after this weekend? Okay, so after this weekend, Divine Masculines are going to be well and truly out of this full moon energy. The full moon's going to be passing. And this is leaving the Divine Masculines really having a tight grip on this Ten of Pentacles, which relationship they want with their Divine Feminine. And the time is going to be right for them to do something about it. After this weekend, we have another 10 here for the Divine Feminine. So Divine Feminines after the weekend, they're feeling this complete closeout of the cycle. Okay, start of next week is where the Divine Feminines are going to be kind of like resting, getting their energy levels back up after healing this heartbreak. I'm also strongly feeling like the Divine Feminines, here on the bottom we have the 10 of Cups. So you are going to be kind of like moving towards this happy relationship with your Divine Masculine, towards union. But early next week you might feel like there should have been action taken already, and this is going to kind of like set off some kind of like fears. But these are just illusions. These are little triggers, so don't let them play an important part next week. If there is no communication, there is a reason why. It's because your Divine Masculine isn't ready yet. It is much better to wait for them to be ready and communicate from a better place than it is for them to communicate and, you know, potentially not be prepared, not be secure and stable or in their Emperor energy, and then say something which is a lot harder to take back. So just kind of like trust the silence. Okay, we're going to see after Mercury retrograde. So this card just flew out, but I don't feel like that's for this bit. So Divine Masculines are resting. Let's see after Mercury retrograde what is going on. Okay, first thing I'm hearing is that the Divine Masculines, Mercury retrograde, when Mercury goes direct, there is going to be some kind of epiphany that comes to them whilst they sleep. They're going to wake up and be like, oh my God, what have I done? I want this long-term relationship, this marriage with my Divine Feminine. I've messed this up. What can I do? And action they're going to be taking is communicating that offer of love and ending these arguments. These are the exact cards that came out earlier. So that is where this communication is going to come in. They're going to be ready to just offer their love and truly end this this separation. Divine Feminines for when Mercury goes direct. Surprise communication coming in, making sure that, you know, you do keep your heart chakra open for your Divine Masculine. And walking away from things. So when Mercury goes direct, the Divine Feminines are going to really be ready to take action again, leaving the past in the past. This is a fresh start for them. 28th of March is where the Divine Feminines are really deciding that this is their new beginning now. Mercury's gone direct. They are safe to start moving again, and they're going to continue on their own journey. We're going to see what they can expect to see when Mercury goes direct. Divine Masculines in their King energy. There's going to be sudden action taken towards the Divine Feminine, and Ace of Wands here we have complete transformations and new beginnings. So I do feel like there's big shifts happening when Mercury goes direct, but the Divine Masculines are really going to have a moment of like, oh my God, what have I done? All this kind of like uncertainty about what to communicate. They're just going to feel an urge to really kind of like express all their love for their Divine Feminine and try and get you two back together. Okay, and then lastly, I am just going to do some of my mini cards for what is happening between Twin Flames this weekend. So this is kind of like physical, 3D, action communication, or non-action, non-communication. Hanged Man. So things are a little bit stuck right now, but they are stuck on the Divine Masculine side, because here we have the Divine Feminine really kind of like in her power, and very kind of like calm and collected. Divine Masculines, some of them are still kind of like having some financial problems. They're wanting to create a secure foundation, but they're really kind of like really struggling to get their finances together, to get this balance together, and that is for them creating a bit of a block. But they have the strength to see it through. So these financial blocks that the Divine Masculines are faced with, they are going to be overcome, and then once they have their finances together, and this might literally just be waiting until payday at the end of the month, that is when the Divine Masculines are going to be feeling a lot more powerful and in control, and that's when we have the Judgment card. The time is going to be right for them to offer the Divine Feminine the key to their heart. Divine Feminines, you know, very soon you are going to have some fruit to bear. So this kind of like, these manifestations you've put out there and you don't feel like they've paid off, well, here we have, you're going to see some physical evidence very soon, and it's going to be very, very stable and secure evidence. Divine Masculines, again, we have a Hierophant card here, so and another 5. There's huge transformations happening this weekend, which ultimately see the Divine Masculines wanting to return to their Divine Feminine and offer some serious commitment. You know, they are seeing marriage. They want to offer the world. Divine Feminines, you are trusting your intuition, letting it guide you, and just kind of like going with the flow now. There is definitely communication coming in. I'm seeing keys, so for some of you there could be like a house move happening right now around you, or you two could be moving in together very soon. There is wish fulfillment coming in, and I didn't realise I just put that there. So we have the Empress card right next to the Emperor card. So you two are both going to be kind of like well in your power soon. Another communication card. But honestly, like next week, communication is going to be really, really strong between you both, and things are going to start balancing out. Divine Feminine, that clarity that you have been desiring, that is coming to you, and even though it feels like it's been really, really slow to come about, that's because it's a very, very stable communication. So you need to rest up now because there's big changes coming. Some of you, this is going to be like a letter coming in, so it's going to be some kind of like email, text, letter. That's going to be the start of this communication. If there are any kind of like fears around this connection or what's happening, write them down, and then, you know, either send them to yourself or just burn them. Do whatever kind of like ritual works for you, but write down everything that you feel is blocking you in your twin flame and just let it go. You know, completely surrender and trust the universe. Okay, then we're just going to finish with some message cards, some messages to the Divine Feminines from their Divine Masculines. I want to kiss you. Stop overthinking. Never stop believing in us. You know in your heart I'm always there. I miss us. You're the light guiding me home. I want to marry you, my love. When I follow my heart, it leads to you. And lastly, I can't wait to hold you in my arms very soon. On the bottom we have trust in me, trust in us, I am coming back to you. Okay, and then we're just going to pull some message cards now to the Divine Masculine from their Divine Feminine. So messages to the Divine Masculine from their Divine Feminine. Our new beginning is so close. Our separation is ending. We are each other's home. I love you, baby. God is helping me right now. Stay grounded. I'm closer than you think. Have faith, we planned this before we were born, and clear your energy. So they are messages, and on the bottom here we have, I am certain our union will happen. So Divine Feminines, if you're thinking about walking away from your Divine Masculine, I feel like in your heart, you know that you're not going to. You know that this is just kind of like a little bump in the road. Hopefully that has been helpful. Again, I'll do some more readings kind of like next week to get some clarity about what is happening once this full moon has passed. Okay, thank you.